Formula One statement on Monday that it's moving forward with plans to allow a GM entry could be viewed as a complete turnaround in attitude from series bosses. It was only back in January that FOM declared an application by Andretti Cadillac to enter F1 was rejected because it did not feel that it would add value to the championship. In a press release at the time that was primarily related to 2025, F1 said our assessment process has established that the presence of an 11th team would not provide value to the championship. The most significant way in which a new entrant would bring value is by being competitive. We do not believe that they will be competitive. The rejection at the time triggered controversy and left Andretti hitting back and taking its complaints to American politicians in its bid to force a rethink. It kept on pushing on with 2026 car preparations at its Silverstone base, even though it seemed no route to get an entry until now. So what has changed? Part of it is down to the personalities involved, but more involves shifting concepts on the project that makes it a very different prospect in F1's eyes. It was not lost on anyone that in a 3-page statement that F1 put out on Monday regarding the entry, there was not a single reference to the Andretti name. Instead, the only hint about the possible involvement was partners at TWG Global, which is a company run by Dan Towers, who recently took over Andretti Global Operations. Andretti and F1 had never particularly seen eye to eye on matters, but it was his decision to move away from day-to-day involvement that set in place a chain of events that led to this. For Andretti's exit opened a door for Towers to take a pragmatic approach and realise that if he was going to find a way to convince an F1 entry, things would have to be done a different way with much greater involvement from GM, and that was the key to girls getting F1 interest in the deal, where GM were initially going to come on board later, but would have customers to begin with. That's still the case, but now they could become a full works team by 2028, even with a Ferrari engine in the meantime. The same parties involved, yes, but from F1's perspective, two totally different prospects when it comes to adding value to the series. Let us not forget that it was exactly what FOM was saying all the way back in January, though. There was a way that it felt like the GM involvement could be positioned to get the application over the line. We took totally different on our application for the entry of a team in 2028, said F1 at the time. In this case, there will be additional factors to consider with a new OEM coming in. This then proved key, even with previous Andretti Liberty CEO Greg Maffei helping getting it moving before his recent departure. Speculations that his exit kind of played a role wider the mark. The role that FIA President Ben Sulayem played is also understood to be key, maintaining pressure to keep things moving on, even despite the initial rejection. And having been open to it in the first place, he definitely played a big part. And GM certainly made a big push of its own to get it across the line, stating their keenness to be racing in F1. Obviously, the biggest it's the biggest single-seater series out there, and yeah, Dan Towers with that putting out exciting remarks about getting involved with it. And while Andretti will not be formally involved in the project, Mario Andretti is set to serve as a director and play a non-executive role and not involved in the team's day-to-day operations. But yeah, he stated how thrilled he was as well. While Michael Andretti will not be seeing the team through his ambitions, he vowed on Monday to give it his full support, congratulating those for getting involved. So yeah, it seems like the Andretti family still definitely will retain some involvement. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily F1 news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.